And man, if you
Mhm.
got in this time and just hodled, you're up 130%. Why don't we say we jump right into it, folks?
Let's get
Let
to
me
it.
get to it. Let's pull up the charts here. And man, just tell me when you guys see that.
Yep,
How we looking? There it
got it.
is.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we started to see some price action here. Now, this is, of course, 4 hour charts. Started to see some really significant price action probably about several weeks back, and it's been quite a journey. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? We're going to keep on going, Ben? What do you think? Is this thing going to keep on riding to the moon, or are we going to taper off here?
I'd assume that we see some type of correction eventually, but it's anyone's guess. I do also wonder, like you've got a dozen institutional, companies competing for ETFs in the next like month or two or whatever. So do the dips just get bought up by all of them? Like they've got to get supply. That's the key thing is how do these ETFs get their supply when most of it's not on exchanges? So it's like is everyone just buying everything they can right now, essentially?
Yeah,
So I
that's a
don't know. Maybe there is no correction. I mean, you can't say it doesn't go up forever, but we're like so oversold from. We're still 50% from all time high.
yeah,
I don't
agreed.
know.
Yeah, let's take a
Yeah.
look at the. Let's go into the daily, and there was a fairly significant correction. If for those of you that have been in this space for the past year or so, uh, you'll see that was a pretty significant correction that had occurred, and we hit our bottom right around at least a recent bottom right around this time last year. And man, if you
Mhm.
got in this time and just hodled, you're up 130%.
Yep.
So that's pretty substantial. And talk about diamond hands. It's not about those daily moves. Sometimes we want to focus in on those daily moves, but if you can just sit on it, man, that's half the battle. Bronze, what do you think? We Is this thing got wings? Is it going a lot higher?
Yeah, I mean, like what Ben said, I mean, there could be correction, but yeah, I'm starting to see some wings. It's it's all dependent on. I feel like it's the catalyst, right? If you hear some good news, it'll go up, and bad news will go down. But it seems like everyone's anticipating for this spot ETF to come out, and it's just people are just it's just waiting. And a couple days ago, I heard it's gonna be like they're all gonna come out almost all at once, like 12 spot ETFs. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And then today, I mean, they're talking about BlackRock already uh, getting a trust set up for Ethereum, same way how they set a trust for Bitcoin in Delaware. So they haven't officially made a Ethereum spot ETF. They haven't submitted one officially, but it's basically the same path what they did for Bitcoin, and that's why Ethereum is right now. I'm looking at up 10% for the last 24 hours. So
Yeah,
yeah, bullish stuff. And
yeah,
just people just waiting for this to come out.
yeah. When you take a look at the BTC to ETH dominance, I mean, it's been hammering ETH, and of course that impacts a lot of the alts. So, Ben, I mean, what do you think? ETH is this an official rebound for ETH? Have maybe the dominance hit bottom?
I think so. Um, because now that institutional attention will come focus on Ethereum also, and I really kind of assume that once the I thought once the Bitcoin ETF got approved, then I thought they would go for an ETH ETF. So they're actually like going ahead of the schedule that even I thought would be like bullish for the space, right? Like I figured you get your Bitcoin ETF, it would be tradable, and then you push into Ethereum. But I mean, if you think about BlackRock, they already know it's getting approved, so they're not going to like wait for approval, right? And now you get Ethereum set up. Now that they have this trust, they'll probably need to be a buyer, right? That trust needs to own Ethereum to launch an Ethereum ETF. So if they couldn't buy before the trust was set up, they are now a buyer. I don't know if it works that way, but I'm just like logic tells me
Yeah.
BlackRock is now buying Ethereum as of today.
Yeah,
right?
no doubt.
So, and then all their competition, like, they don't want BlackRock to be the only Ethereum ETF product on the market. So 11 more should probably come down the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie,
So,
And it's funny you say that because when they aren't talking about it or they're bashing it, that's when they're buying it.
for sure.
Right. So I feel like, yeah, it makes sense to me that that's exactly what's happening. And the focus has been on Bitcoin. They're positioned now to take the next move, get ready for the ETF for the Bitcoin. Now let's focus on what else is out there in the space. And Ethereum certainly makes sense.
So, you know what the bet now is, I would think, which large cap are they going to launch their next ETF on that you're not thinking about? Will they do a Litecoin ETF? Can we look to see what whichever top 5 grayscale products exist will be in the next BlackRock ETF offering?
Yeah.
So should you long your longs on everything and just hope that an ETF filing shows up?
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would stop at Ethereum.
Right. Be on the lookout. I mean, I'm hearing murmurs about Solana being a spot ETF. I'm like,
That would be so stupid. I don't know why. It's just like the thing about Solana is like it was pumped using like customer funds, and now now the SEC is like, and I'm probably getting ahead, but now the SEC is like, we could just restart FTX and FTT goes up like 80%, and maybe they'll launch a Solana ETF, and it's like none of this ever happened. But SBF sits in jail while his business expands. I don't know.
No, Litecoin makes sense. Litecoin makes sense. A lot of folks are talking about Link. You have XRP in the mix. I think that there are some solid other options out there, and you're going to have these very large institutions having the right minds, thinking about what the next step is after Bitcoin. They've already figured it out. They've already started, like you had indicated, already started to accumulate. So I have no doubt in my mind that the run is started. We are just starting to see just the minor impacts of it. And today was an awesome example of this. I feel like we saw some significant pumps and then some significant corrections. That reminds me of several years back when we saw these huge swings, these huge candles and huge wicks, and more to come on that. So if you guys, and of course, guys, none of what we're talking about is financial advice, but if you are using leverage on this, please make sure you guys are watching at this time because it's been a very mild winter when it comes to these swings. You start to take a look at these wicks, it's very easy to get just wiped out. So not financial advice, but make sure you're at least doing your own research.
Yeah, and there's no reason to get liquidated when you can just hold and ride the wave.
There it is.
So
yep. Yeah. Get into a good spot.
There's some DJ gamblers out there that loves that
action. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go on Pancake Swap and do a 500x, $10 bet, and if you catch it, if you catch the right candle, you make $1,000 or something, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So all right. So I've been using
not financial advice.
There you go.
Never financial advice.
Yeah.
Never financial advice.
Just the thing that I would do if I were to do it right now on this other monitor right here is 1000x bet on Ethereum.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's short it right now. I think that's a good idea. I don't know if you guys, I've been using this a lot lately. So this is no affiliation, right? CoinGlass, check it out. There's a lot of great information on here. What I pulled up is a liquidation map. You guys see that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now what they're showing us here initially is the what's on Binance, but these are the overall exchanges. I love being able to zoom in on this thing and see who's getting ballsy, who's getting liquidated, because you're able to see which exchanges, and then it's color coded by who is 100x, who is over leveraged, etc. And then, of course, the current price. What's funny is as this thing starts to move closer, and this is, I think, where you start to see the snipers get in real quick because you see the exchanges start to just liquidate, and then you see a retrace. So not financial advice, but I think it's an awesome tool. Definitely recommend you guys check this out. So,
Coin
anyways,
glass.
Coin Glass. Yeah. So, all right. Enough about all that. Let's talk about what's going on. We kind of touched on the SEC. The first window. We're currently in an 8-day window, November the 9th to the 17th, where all 12 spot Bitcoin ETF filings could be approved by the SEC. So let's just pull this up here. Now, again, no affiliation. And we probably should have went to you guys and started posting up your stuff up on the screen. But this is going to be, who is this now? This is Cointelegraph. No affiliation. But they're talking about, and this is all over the place, right? That there could be an approval of all 12 within the next few days. Now, what say you guys? Is this likely? What do you think, Ben?
I have no idea.
Oh, there it is. I love it.
I actually don't know I don't know enough to even know what creates this current window that they're in. Is there some like regulatory legal deadline they have? Or because typically when they have a deadline, they also have the ability to just like postpone it. Like, actually, I was thinking about this awful joke I could have tweeted the other day, which was like the window that they could approve it is as soon as tomorrow, because like why not, right? Like they could.
Oh yeah,
they could do it tomorrow. They could do it Monday. So I don't know.
I agree, and
maybe you guys know more than I do.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? It's funny because you see all these vague statements, breaking news, and it seems like it's always this breaking news event where something may or may not happen, but it could. So breaking, and I don't know, it's a false narrative, and it's always something you need to be mindful of. So I think that what they're talking about is the deadline in which there is a certain window where they need to meet a specific deadline per the ETF, right? So it's a good point, right? You got to be careful with the overall narrative and make sure that you are truly doing your own research. We say that so many times, but it does matter. Just don't fall for the headline and don't listen to someone on Twitter, and certainly don't listen to us. What do we know? We don't have no crystal ball. I don't have a cousin in the SEC, or maybe I do. I don't know. Broads, what do you think? Is this doable? Do you think that we could see something within the next week?
I mean, we could. I mean, I would love to see it. It really makes you think, like, okay, like what Ben said, like who set this window, this time frame? Is there like another branch twisting Gary Gensler's arm now? Because I know they were talking about this in October, or something might go on in October, and then there was some murmurs, right? And then the end of October, things was pumping a little bit, and then we're in the beginning of November, and then now this comes about. Yeah, something is up. Yeah, definitely something is up. You seem like the institutions, just like BlackRock is starting to make moves already. It's like they're already 2 steps ahead, getting ready for Ethereum. So yeah, man, I would like to see it be a little nice Thanksgiving. But yeah,
well, obviously nice at Christmas, but
yeah, Christmas.
I do want to point out that Cointelegraph, I believe,
Oh yes.
was the source that told us it had launched when it hadn't. So, not
Yeah, so
that
there it is.
BSC News has never blundered
Drop the
something,
ball.
but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I
that
remember that morning. That was
that
a
was
very interesting morning.
so maybe they invented the 12-day window and everyone. But the funny thing, so I'm not even gonna say that. But the funny thing is that someone says something on Twitter, and this is like to your text in about your joke about like breaking news. It's like half the time the breaking news is actually speculation of something that could be breaking, right? So it's like breaking news, this could happen. It's like we've redefined what breaking news is, right?
It's
It's like
diluted.
breaking news, something might happen. And
Yeah.
then once someone tweets it, no one cares if it's right or not. Like we, Cointelegraph tweeted that the thing went live. Within 20 to 30 minutes, we tweeted that the thing, like, because you see it and something like that, I guess you just assume is true.
Yeah.
I do wonder, like, if they got something. Here's what I think may have happened. I'm gonna give some news insights. Sometimes you get something that you have to keep under wraps until a certain date. And every now and then someone on the team just screws up. Now, I don't know if they determined exactly what the problem was, but my thoughts were that could have happened. Where it was they got something that's like, all right, this is going to be happening, and then someone messed up in the chain of communication. They're a remote business, I imagine. There's not some Cointelegraph news office where everyone's sitting in the room together typing. So, no shade at Cointelegraph at all.
Yeah. But that makes sense, right? They're ready. They have the article already ready to go when it drops, when the news actually drops, and maybe someone actually posted it. So
and so that was a funny day because I even it was like a party, right? Like everything pumped like 10% immediately, and then the party ended like 2 hours later, and everything went back to where it was.
Yeah.
So, no, seriously. I mean, Bronze and I, we're both at work, right? So that we're not in DeFi full time, and we're just like, hey, what's going on? I just see something, and we're like, oh wait, I don't think it's real. I'm like, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing Fox. I'm not seeing CNBC. There's nothing. And I'm like, I don't know. Let's short it.
Yeah. No, that was a good play. I do remember Larry Fink was on like CNBC or one of those things, and they weren't talking about the fact that his ETF had gone live. So that was a pretty good indicator that it had not gone live yet.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't believe everything you see on Twitter, folks. That's
correct.
That's what the moral of the story is. But I do find it was definitely an interesting morning, and I know it's coming. Will it be tomorrow? Who knows? Maybe. Awesome if it is. Could it be next month? Great. I'm in it. Regardless. Yep. I feel like all of us are. So,
like a little anecdote. Thanksgiving, like it's actually interesting because maybe this will happen at Thanksgiving, but this was a COVID Thanksgiving because I remember this was like a remote Thanksgiving, and I think there was only one of those, right? So it was whenever COVID broke out that year, and then so it started in like March, and by November we were locked down. Maybe not in Texas. Maybe you guys were like, "We love COVID, right? Let's go swim in COVID." But you'll shoot COVID in the face if it comes after you. But I remember one of my brothers was like, "This Bitcoin thing's a scam, right?" And now here we are. Man. Was this 4 years later? And it's gratifying at least.
4 years, yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta love those comments. You gotta love those conversations because
we got like all heated about it.
Told you so.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, for sure. And yes, that's right. That's how we roll down in Texas. We don't believe in no masks. We don't need no vaccines.
You don't believe in viruses? What are viruses?
Is that a drink?
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Salute.